Rycrafty, and here I am at home in my cozy little apartment with my cozy little dog. Oh, sorry. Don't disturb the dog when he's sleeping on your lap. Makes him very angry. And I was inspired lately to film this video. It's something I've been thinking about for a while, but then earlier today I watched a video by Chelsea of the Financial Diet, and she did an anti-haul video. So YouTube is full of haul videos of what I got from Sephora or Anthropologie or wherever, all sorts of stores. Thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And just, even money aside, all that stuff, it takes up space. It takes up the surface area in your apartment or your home or wherever. And I've been thinking lately, and I always try and go through my things fairly often, get rid of things, donate things, reuse things, repurpose, give them to other people. And I thought a video series might be a good goal for 2019, or a good motivator to help me with this goal for 2019. So I've got a few things. I went around today, right after watching that Financial Diet video, and picked out a few things I've been thinking about getting rid of, but have been kind of too lazy or too reluctant to actually get rid of, and I've got them boxed. I've got them in a little bin here, all boxed up, and I thought I'd show you guys because it was something about seeing Chelsea go through this and go through the things one by one. She was giving away more. I'll probably give away more as well, but over weeks and months, it reminded me of things that I had in my closet, like, oh yeah, that's too small, I should get rid of that for the same reason. So I thought this might be inspiring for other people as well. I've also been thinking about YouTube and video making and trying my hand at it again. I used to have a video podcast about knitting that was up for a while. Feels like not that long ago, but it was probably, I don't know, 3 years ago or so? 4 years. At least 4 years ago. 5? Many. And yeah, so I thought I'd try that again. And also another thing, I think a reason that I've been thinking about this sort of clutter and extra stuff has sort of been cluttering at my mind is 2 years ago I made a huge change in my life. I started a master's degree program, I moved across the country, a really long-term 11-year relationship ended, I got the dog, and so everything really changed. And before living here, the apartment I had before this, I lived there for 10 years. I mean, there were two of us living there, but we started from owning mostly nothing, from basically moving from our parents' houses into that apartment. And then, yes, you settle down there, bud. And then we were in the same place for 10 years, so a lot of stuff gathered. And when the time came to move out, that's when I realized how much stuff had, just encroached on our lives and found its way into our house, and suddenly you're trying to pack it up, going, what is this? Why do I have all this? And then moving in here on my own, unpacking, and even as I was unpacking 2 years ago, going, why did I move this across the country? And yes, I've been here 2.5 years, and I still feel like I really like how my place is laid out. At some point I'll probably do some sort of tour, but it could be emptier. I'm not going minimalist, that's too far for me. I do like things. I like books, I like ornaments, I have a mantelpiece, I like putting things on it. But I don't want it to feel too cluttered. Like there's a middle ground, somewhere in the middle between minimalist and hoarder. Like somewhere in here, probably slightly closer to the minimalist end. There's sort of a spectrum there. And so this is my start, these few things that I'm going to show you in a sec. And then from then on, I think I'm gonna try and do weekly videos of what I'm getting rid of that week, and do some sorting through things. So I like that sort of thing. I really liked Mary Kondo's book, The Magical, life-changing art of tidying up. I really liked it, but I can't remember the full title. There's also another concept that I thought was really interesting. I recently read Gretchen Rubin's The Happiness Project, and she talked in there in her chapter on tidying up and keeping organized and all that, the luxury of having an empty shelf. I really like that idea of just having a shelf that can be empty and it won't get cluttered because everything else has a place, and you have like, so there's a number of shelves you have, and then you own that number minus one. And I think that's perfect. It's a mathematical equation for not minimalism, but not too cluttered. And other things I think I'll be making videos about. As I said, I had a knitting podcast for a while. A lot of the stuff that I have in this house taking up space is crafty things, so I also want to sort of do this to make myself use some of those crafty things, because while I was doing my master's degree, I just didn't have the time to knit a sweater or sew a dress or quilt or do cross stitch or any of that stuff. So I'm hoping this will encourage me to get back on that as well. And of course, I have to share the cuteness of my little pug with the world, but he's asleep right now and I don't think he wants me to move him. So anyway, in the last few days before 2019, I also thought I'd start this before 2019, so it's not quite a New Year's resolution because I'm pretty bad at New Year's resolutions. So in these last few days of 2018, what have I found in this 400 square foot apartment that I don't want anymore? So number one of the easiest things is this raincoat. It's really nice, it's black, it's got a big exposed zip up the front, lighter lining. It's got this belt with a cool like zip inset on it, giant hood. It's too small. It's been too small since I bought it. I don't know why we do this to ourselves or why I do this to myself, but I bought it too small. I tried it on, I loved it. It was a little too small. I asked if there was a larger one, it was all they had left, so I bought this one anyway. It's an extra small. I should have bought a small. And it's a stretchy fabric, so at the time I could do it up over my hips. I could still do up the zip. It was a little tight, but it was okay. And it was like the end of summer when I bought it. And then it got a little colder. And I thought, oh great, I'll wear that. I'll put a sweater on, I'll wear the raincoat. It doesn't fit with the sweater on because I was wearing a t-shirt when I tried it on. And it doesn't fit with anything more than a t-shirt. Or it didn't fit with anything more than a t-shirt. And now it's just really too small. It's an extra small and I'm not so much anymore. So this I think I may try and sell somehow. Maybe Kijiji. Kijiji's just the easiest. I don't want to sign up for more things. I know there's other places you can do that, but I just don't want to sign up for more stuff. It's a Soya and Kayo coat, which is a Canadian brand, but Duchess Meghan Markle wore one of their coats, not this one obviously, but wore one of their coats recently, I think over walking to Christmas church service with the royal family or something. And so I'm thinking that now might be the time to sell it, even though it's also not really raincoat weather in Canada in the winter, but I'll give it a go. So I've got a whole little bin here. I'm trying to think of what number I should give myself for the challenge of getting rid of things. Should it be one a day, more, less? I did do a get rid of one thing a day for a year challenge once. I had an app on my phone. I think you were meant to take photos of your baby or something like that, but it was like a 1 photo a day app. And I did that. I took a photo of the thing that I got rid of every day. Not so much to remember the items, because I've deleted the app and all that's gone now. That was like, again, 4 or 5 years ago. But it was a good way of counting, and it kept me consistent. And I didn't do like one thing every day, but on the weekend I'd find 7 things and then add them to the previous week. And it was just a good way to sort of see that, oh, I'm still doing it, still going. What can I find this week? So yeah, I need to figure out what sort of number I'm going to use. Or if I'm just going to do like, fill up the little green bin. So here's the other things that are going out this week. There's another like linen blazer jacket. Again, extra small. Too small. I've got a couple water bottles. Metal one, glass one. I have many more water bottles. Don't worry, I will not be water bottle less without these. I've got photo frame. Ooh, ding dong. I took the photo out. It wasn't a photo, it was just a cute little greeting card that I'd framed. But the green frame doesn't really go in my place right now. We're not gonna do that. So I've got those guys. I've got some cookbooks. This is the free cookbook that came with my Instant Pot. There's so many Instant Pot recipes online now. I don't need this book. I've never used this book anyway. Don't need that. Another cookbook. Looking at the cookbook section. Jamie's Dinners by Jamie Oliver. Now, out of all the TV chefs, I would say that Jamie Oliver is probably my favorite. Currently I have 3 of his cookbooks in the house. So when this is gone, I'll have 2. I've never used this one. The tag from the used bookstore where I got it was still in it when I opened it today. I've never used it. I use one of his cookbooks that I have. I use that one fairly often. There's another one that I don't think I've used, but I want to give that one a try, I think. So Jamie's Dinners is also going in the giveaway box. Also in the giveaway box, I said I knit. I actually knit something from this. It's not even a book, it's a pamphlet. It's like 10 pages. I knit this sweater a while ago, which was fun. I can't remember the last time I wore it. I knitted it more because it was a really cool yarn and I wanted to try it out. But I don't need the pamphlet anymore. I'm not sure if you can still get that yarn anywhere. Even if you can, I don't really care about those patterns. And then this book, I have a bit of a personal interest. I've never like studied it or done anything professional about it. But I have sort of a personal passion of like fashion history and textile history and textile conservation and that sort of thing. So when I pulled this out of the free books bin in my apartment's laundry room, but it's needlepoint patterns, so it's not really, there's not really much about the history of needlepoint. I'm not going to do any needlepoint. I have more than enough crafts, more than enough craft supplies for crafts that I haven't done in years in here. I don't need to add needlepoint to it all. Oh yeah, and then I forgot about these little guys. So I used to have an iPad. I no longer do. But when I used the iPad, I bought these little adapter doodads. Remember when iPads had the big plug thing? These are so you can put camera cards. Well, that one's a USB. This one's so you can put like a camera photo storage card into your iPad, so you can take your camera, that guy, out when you're on vacation, take the photos, and then upload them to your iPad, type of thing. Not sure what I would have used the USB for. I think it came with this. But I no longer have the iPad, so I no longer need these. And that's what's in my little giveaway box at the moment. I've been tossing around the idea of starting a YouTube channel for a little while with myself, trying to think about what it would be about, and then I think this sort of decluttering, simplifying maybe. I like my stuff, it's not clutter, I just need to simplify what I have, maybe even how it's stored. And I just thought that would be a good kick in the pants to get going. And again, I think I'm going to maybe alternate videos about crafts and about the decluttering and how that's going, and probably some sort of tour, or maybe I'll pick a couple shelves and set the camera up and go through them live. That'll be interesting. You can see my decision making or my decision not making processes. And yeah, so that's just our first little intro. I'm going to dare to pick up Sleeping Puppy. Sleeping Puppy. Oh, there he is. This is Conan. We're going to go through Conan's toys at some point, aren't we? Yes. You sleepy? Is it time to go back to sleep? I'm sorry for disturbing you. But yeah, I'm Rycrafty. You can find me all over the internet as Rycrafty. I think this is going to be called Rycrafty at Home. Or maybe just Rycrafty. Keep it simple. I spent ages, I have this notebook here, trying to come up with clever names and what's going to be, but I think it's just going to be me. And him. But it's just going to be me, no need to overcomplicate things. Yeah, and okay, so I will see you next week. Do you think they should subscribe, bud? Do you think they should subscribe?